Hello walkers, and welcome back to City Walks. We've got a lovely little mostly nature walk for you today, even though we are starting kind of downtown here at the public library in Bozeman, Montana. But we're gonna go do a bit of the main street to the mountains and then up onto Peets Hill, because I haven't done Peets Hill in a while. And we're gonna see some nature, and we're gonna see some public art, and we're gonna see probably some happy dogs, which is always fun. I'm gonna start here at the library on Main Street, kind of near Wallace. I think I'm gonna pan back around here. You can see the Montana Ale Works over there. It's a restaurant. It's been around for, well, ever since I have, before. And what is this called? Grain Elevator. That's what I was looking for. The Montana Library has been pretty cool. I've covered it before. It's LEED certified to some level. Can't remember exactly, but I think it's gold. And they've done a lot to upgrade it over the years. It's probably been new for close to 20 years. They do a lot of great stuff for the community. They have a lot of public art out here. They have a maker studio that's brand new. They have a kitchen that's brand new. I've got a playroom for kids that's brand new. I saw a bunch of them in there having a good old time, little toddlers. We've got some interesting public art as well. Let me back up here, because I want to show you the sign, Main Street to the Mountains Trail. We're going to follow this for a little bit, and then we're going to go up onto Peets Hill, because that's fun. Let me flip you around here since the view is, there we go. My name is Henry. I will be your proxy walker today, your virtual travel guide, your co-discoverer. I like to emphasize co-discoverer because that's what this channel is about. I'm going to flip you around again. 1, 2, 3. Other way, I guess. And what else do I want to tell you? Right, so we're here on the east side of Bozeman, and if we went this way, you can see some public art, sorry, but it's also snowy, so I'm going to go this way. And that's just the parking lot behind the library. We're going to go into Lindley Park here. It's a beautiful old park with lots of old growth. I don't know if old growth, but old planted spruce trees and cottonwood trees and whatever else is in here. They do a lot of public activities, sweet pea festivals, usually based around here. A lot of music and art, and you can see a little sledding hill, and I think it's probably a leashed area for dogs, but people bring their dogs over here, but mainly people take them up to Peets Hill. What else? I talk a lot on this channel. That's kind of my thing. There's a lot of other great, quiet, silent walking channels out there that I have put in my, I think it's the community or the channel tab. And take a look at those if that's what you're looking for, because I like to jibber jabber. I also like to hear back from you guys. It's one of the best things that I get out of this channel, in addition to exercise and exploring new and cool places. So by all means, hit me up with your constructive criticism, your corrections, your suggestions, your memories, your personal stories, all that stuff. I really appreciate it. And I love reading them, and I try to respond to everything that makes it through the YouTube filters. And I qualify that because I get these messages that pop up a month later that have been delayed. I don't understand the engineering logic behind it. It's probably just a bug somewhere. And so anyway, I try to respond to everything that I see. And oh, look at this kind of nice thing. Beautiful. And yeah, so let's make this a community, positive, helpful community with a little bit of fact checking and corrections when needed. I want to thank our Patreon supporters, of course, and those who have done one-time donations. It really does help the channel, helps me keep this channel going. I do make a little bit of money from ads on this channel, but not a whole lot. And everything helps keep, pay for fuel, pay for a coffee, literally coffee, sometimes to keep me going. So, and just honestly, the emotional or motivational effect is pretty profound for me. I love the validation, I guess, of knowing people appreciate these videos. So, let's talk a little bit about, one, this trail, and two, Bozeman, and three, some of these cool buildings over here. Let's flip you around here. You can see the parking lot and a little bit of the library there, and then the Bridger Mountains. Those are to the north. There's an office building right there, more art, and then a couple little quirky houses, residential houses over here, which are in this lovely little quiet pocket and have managed to stay as residential houses instead of being built up. Kind of neat. We've got some more of the art installation I was talking about. And we're going to come up here and we'll get to the parking lot at Peets Hill. And that's kind of where this trail, Main Street in the Mountains Trail, diverges from Peets Hill. I've done both Peets Hill and Main Street to the Mountains before, but in the summer, either. Probably some Peets Hill in the winter at some point, a long time ago. A little Humpty Dumpty there. And I want to share that. But what am I saying here? So the Main Street to the Mountains Trail, pardon my distractions here, is got a little bit of snow. It's a great trail through town, and it literally goes up towards the mountain. I don't know if the mountains, which are the Galtons, and I don't know if they've completed the trail all the way there, but it's a good chunk of it, and it'll at least take you out to the Museum of the Rockies, which is a wonderful museum in and of its own right. Some of these unique designs, and I don't mean strange or funky, although they are. I just mean they're not cookie cutter. I'm gonna spin you around here. There's a little side trail here. There's a trail along this base of this hill that makes its way up to Peets Hill. It's actually at the top of the hill, I think. And it's a little icy, so I didn't mention it is 31 degrees Fahrenheit, negative 1 degrees Celsius here today at about 11:15 a.m. in early March, we'll call it. Look at these aspen trees. Morning. It is a beautiful bluebird day. I think I said I was going to, here's some more of these. Interesting. I'm lacking the word that I want to use for these buildings, but you kind of get the idea. They're all one-offs and have their own character. And this guy has got a couple different chimney situations. That's kind of neat. Bozeman. I was just looking at some real estate prices. Even higher than I thought. 2,000 square foot homes for 1.5 million. You've probably seen online the house up in Kalispell. It looks like it's about 800 square feet. And they want 1.1, 1.2 million for it. That's the prices people are paying here in Montana. So if you're planning on moving here, it is a beautiful place, but you're going to need a lot of cashola. This is the parking lot, and I'm going to go up here. I'll show you we'll go up and I'll show you the branch, and then we'll backtrack 50 feet or 50 yards and go up to see Peets Hill. And I'll talk a little bit about that. This is sort of the south side neighborhood over here. And there's actually, I think it's Burke Park over there. You can see a little bandstand that's been around forever. They used to have an ice rink over there under a sort of covered but open, I don't know, it's a facility about the size of a hockey rink. And this, I believe, is Church Street, sorry. Here on the right. That's the one going left to right here. And that looks like it's going to be Story. So you can see crossing along here, you can cross over and it's the Main Street to the Mountains trail. We, however, are going to backtrack and we are going to make our way through what looks like some mud, ice, and snow up to the top. One of the very cool things here is they have a bike maintenance station, a bike parking station. Hi there. And they've got bags for the dogs. It is, I believe, an off-leash area, which is super fun to have the dogs run around and play with each other. You can see a little bit of the muck and mud. And then I'm just going to go over here because I want to show you the base of this. This is a very popular sledding hill, and I've heard it referred to as Brokeback Hill because it gets all packed out and icy, and then the trail creates a bit of a jump, and which leads to a big thump at the bottom. I actually did bring my Yak Trax micro spike stuff, but I chose not to put them on. Hi there.
Hi, how's it going?
Good, thanks. So hopefully the ice won't be too bad. Doesn't look too bad here. Still pretty grainy, gritty. I think we're going to get a little view of the Bridgers. I want to thank everybody who also responded to my poll and my question in the last video about whether you would be interested in paying for an ad-free experience. I want to clarify that at no point will I be taking away this free version. I want to make sure I enjoy bringing a little joy to people's days, and I think, according to many comments I've gotten over the years, it has. So I want to make sure that continues. I'm just trying to find ways to make it a little bit more sustainable and provide some other additional options without doubling or tripling my workload. Oh, here we go. You can see the Bridgers there in the back of the library and the grain silo, grain elevator. Bunch of the new big buildings that have gone up in Bozeman over the years. And then out yonder is the Madison Range. I think that is, not the Tobacco Roots. But we're going to go this way. Whew. The elevation here is about 4,900 feet, maybe a little extra up here. And the air is not too bad. I'm used to it mainly, but it still gets me every once in a while. Okay, off to the left here. I'll wait and show you that in a second. There's a gate. I think there's a gate. Yeah. Off to the left here is, I think it's Sunset Hill Cemetery. And I've done a walk through here. I think that was a winter walk. Beautiful old cemetery, a lot of old Bozeman names in there, and very peaceful place that is well maintained and kind of a classic old cemetery. Looks like some folks are doing some studies here on plants, probably the impact of use. This area, I think, is administered by, or maybe it's just a college class. What is it? It's the Gallatin Valley Land Trust, I believe, who has agreed to maintain this area. And they do a great job. So kudos to them. MSU, I'm gonna go around here. I'll just cut across to this other trail since it's winter. MSU is an ag and tech focused school. They have, of course, the humanities, but they really are known for agriculture and technology. Get a lot of NASA money, a lot of scientific backing and engineering. There's another little channel. Oh, you can look down and see the sledding hill. It's a great sledding hill. Getting a little bare now. And I don't know if they put that berm up to help with the sledding or if it was just there, but it's a good stopper rather than a creek. Anywho, Montana State University, the Bobcats. They do a lot of ecological, a lot of wildlife stuff, a lot of agricultural stuff, and space and engineering stuff. It's actually where I got my master's in science and natural history filmmaking. Hi there.
Everything is above 800.
You can start to see some of the buildings over at MSU because we're really not that far. I don't know, quarter mile, eighth of a mile. You can see there's a lot of sagebrush up here as well, and that's what this area was before it got settled by Europeans and others. And it's fairly dry, although the Bozeman or the Gallatin Valley has something like 40 feet of topsoil and more moisture than over on our side of the pass. But most of those spruce trees you see down there, I believe, would have been planted as decoration or windbreaks or whatnot. And then you're looking up into the Gallatins, and those peaks, I believe, are up in the Highlight Basin. Done several walks up in the Highlight Reservoir area. Check those out. Check out the website, City Walks Virtual Tours, where our virtual walks for Treadmill and Treadmill videos and City Walks live. You can search on it for various walks by keyword, by walk time, or location. So hopefully it'll be helpful for you to find specific walks or browse a little bit more easily than sorting through hundreds and hundreds of YouTube videos. And I hope I'm not swirling around too quickly. I know that people in Treadmill don't care for that, and I totally get it. There's a happy little dog over there. Let's take this side channel again. You can see by the footprints how many people and dogs have been up here. We got some snow last week, or this past week, I guess, maybe this weekend, which is very welcome. While the temperature might be a little chilly, 31 degrees, in the sun and with a little exercise, wearing the appropriate clothing is really very pleasant. I'm almost getting too warm. I'm gonna take my hat off. So, I was actually gonna film another location, and then I got a little lazy, but I thought this was a great one too. This road down here, Church Street, goes all the way out, becomes, I want to say South 3rd. It goes out past Triple Tree Ranch, where we've done a couple walks in both winter and summer, and makes its way up, and you can get to Sourdough Canyon or Bozeman Creek Trail. That was one of the first trails I've ever went to here, and it's basically an old road that leads up to, I'm going to say Mystic Lake, but I think that's wrong, which is the primary water source for Bozeman. And it's 10 or 20 miles up there. I wouldn't do the whole walk, of course, but it's a great place to walk, to ski in the winter, if it's not too packed out, ride your bike in the summer. It's an incline most of the way up, but it's along a creek, so if you have a dog, they have access to water. And then it's an incline, but it's not unreasonable. There's a happy little dog over there. Happy little dog over here. Hey pup, how are ya? Hi. Yeah. Hi there. Off to the left here is the hospital. It's called Bozeman Deaconess. And they have been expanding. Oh, that one's got a little ball. They have been expanding with the city. Seems like there's always construction going on over there to meet the needs, or try to meet the needs of the community. And then straight ahead, you can see some construction equipment now. Straight ahead, I forget the name of it, but it's basically a senior living center. And on the far side of it is, hi there. On the far side of it, we'll see some homes that have been built for, independent living with access to, necessary care and that sort of thing. Support. Looking out over Bozeman. It really is a beautiful place, and while it has grown and I think paid the price of that in some ways, just from any place would pay for rapid growth in terms of infrastructure and pricing and housing and culture, it's still a really, really cool place. Certainly an amazing place to visit. access to Bridger Bowl ski area, Big Sky ski area, tons of rivers and mountain trails and recreational opportunities, a lot of great food, restaurants, hotels. And the food in the hotels have really blossomed in terms of variety and quality. Several new and great music venues. And there.
He immediately gets a phone call.
And all the things that come with, I guess, rapid growth. So here's a happy little dog too. Oh, such a happy dog. It is so bright. Someone made a comment about Americans and their sunglasses, and it's a fair point. Hi there. We all have our quirks. I was reading something the other day about the way quotes of, I think, Europeans and I think it was Europeans, how they see Americans. And common things were like, we're all so happy and loud and boisterous and wear baseball caps there and they're super friendly. That was all great. And there's a few negative things, like our meals are huge and sometimes we're too loud. Anyway, someone commented about the sunglasses and how Americans all wear sunglasses. And I think that's true, very true, along with the super white, straight teeth. And, but I will say, I had to comment here in the winter at least. First, we're at 4,500, 4,900 or more feet of elevation. And there's not as much atmosphere to protect our eyes from UV rays. And the science says wearing sunglasses helps protect from things like cataracts and that sort of thing. And the other thing is when it's snowy like this on a bright day, man, it's almost painful to not have them on. It's just so bright. Here are some of those homes I was talking about. When I moved here, this was all fields, sort of grassland, sagebrush, etc. And they came in and they put in all these houses, which I think are actually kind of good. Better here than out on the edge and periphery and sprawling around. And it's housing dedicated to seniors, so they have some place to live that meets their needs. A couple more happy little dogs. Back to that poll about how to sort of offer some alternatives for this channel. Someone mentioned including GPS tracks, which I've done a few times, at least on the website, but it'll take some training, self-training for me to get everything synced up, started, and stopped at the right time. If you're interested in that, if you think that would be a valuable thing, let me know in the comments, please. You can see, I think it's the Brick Breeden Fieldhouse Dome out there. A couple inflatable tennis court structures. I guess there's tennis courts in there. Some dorms and campus buildings as well. Then off to the left, I don't know if you can make it out, but there's a football stadium as well. If you are thinking about moving to Bozeman, Montana, hope you'll check these videos out for great places to walk and explore. Hopefully that'll be a good resource for you. And let me know in the comment section below if there's any other areas you'd like me to cover. You know, there are certainly a lot of areas like out on 19th. There's subdivisions, commercial areas that I haven't filmed because they're not really walkable. There is a free bus service around town that goes a lot of places. Like it's a really good network, but it's necessary because, you know, big parking lots and box stores and all that sort of thing, which are necessary in our modern culture the way it is. You know, you're talking, I don't think anybody really wants to watch me walk through parking lots, is what I'm saying. But I could poke around other areas if you're interested. Here off to the left is another public parking lot. And I don't know if they have bathrooms over there or not. I don't think they do. I think it's like a pumping station or a power station. So, ooh, it's starting to get real warm. Really warm, I should say. I would say, I want to caveat what I just said about areas not being walkable. Bozeman really is. They've made a lot of effort to make things walkable. Here's a trail network to illustrate that. Hopefully that'll be helpful to you. You can pause and look at it in detail. They've added bike lanes. They've got the streamlined bus service. They've got these trails that they have tried to put in all over town, and they've really put in the effort to make it a walk, you know, a not just another cookie cutter place. I forget what park that is down there, mainly because I don't think I've ever spent any time there. You see some signs, yo dude, slow down, for those people on bikes. These homes over here to the left are a little older than the senior area. And I think we're out of the area that's dedicated to senior living. Hi there. So this bit of the trail has always kind of been here, but looks like they've improved it. Got a side trail down there. I think you can make out. And we'll go down here to this lookout. Hopefully not bother this person too much. And I'll point out a few things, hopefully. Hi there. You can see another side trail off to the left here, in a slightly different view of Bozeman. I'm going to walk back up here to the power lines. If you kept going down these side trails here, this one to the left, well, I think ends up down on Church, and the other one ends up over on Kagi, which is an east-west route in Bozeman. Goes to the south of most of the university, all the way over to 19th, which is kind of nice if you want to avoid the traffic downtown.
And Molly's going over there.
The weather is almost spring-like. It's got maybe it's the light that gives a spring-like vibe. A little bit of hope in the air. Let's look at what's coming soon here. A medicine wheel seating area, a mountain range finder. A few years ago, they had this really cool installation of native teepees installed, and inside they had colored lights in each teepee, so they really stood out along the horizon here, and you could see them from all over town. It was really cool and a neat installation and memorial of indigenous history, as well as, I believe, trying to bring awareness, and I could be transposing these things, or attributing something that wasn't there, but missing and murdered indigenous women is a real problem out in the West and other areas. And there's a lot of folks trying to bring awareness.
At the fairgrounds in Bozeman, they'll have in the spring they'll have a bike swap.
A lady is talking about the bike swap in the spring, and then they do in the fall a ski swap as well, where you can drop off your old equipment or used equipment and buy somebody else's. It's a great way to get some deals if you are looking for them, or get rid of old equipment that you need some cash to upgrade. Hi, pup. Oh, happy dog. The Bridgers, and you can't really make out the M, but we've hiked up to the M a couple different times, or hiked down, I guess. It's a great trail, really popular. One of the places that probably could use a bigger parking lot. Across the road from that is Drinking Horse, which is a steep but shorter trail, which I really should film that as well, even though it's kind of a short one. I don't like to hike myself or film myself hiking uphill because of the huffing and puffing sound that is inevitable, at least for me. And I think it's like a 15-minute, I could probably stretch it to 20, hike down. I think you can see why this is such a popular place. One, it's super accessible, right? It's a 5-minute drive, 10-minute drive from most of Bozeman. Maybe a little more if you're out way out west there. But it's also got these amazing views. You can bring your dog. There's different little variations. It's not too aggressive if you're not looking to really power out a mountain hike. And just a great way to be outside on your lunch break or in the morning or afternoon. So you can see a little bit maybe some of the tracks here that look like they have little almost mouths, tooth marks, like bite marks almost, not really bite marks, but denture marks. And those are from micro spike systems, probably yak tracks or something similar. And here it is starting to get a little packed down. As long as it stays cold enough and doesn't melt, it usually is fine. As soon as it gets a little warmer, a little bit of water that refreezes, it can get to be a little wild. Hi there.
Hey, you're fine, bro.
Oh, the happy dogs. I have often get questions about what camera I'm using, and it varies over time. Currently, I am filming with a DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and I'm not associated or sponsored by them or anything, but it is probably one of my favorite cameras for doing this sort of thing that I've found so far. Leaps and bounds ahead of the 2, which was way better than the 1. And I love the camera. So if you're looking for that sort of thing or are curious, that's what I'm using, and I recommend. Hi there. Okay, one other thing I forgot to point out, and I see somebody cross-country skiing in that little field before you get to the big tree line there. They're skiing in shorts, which is a bold move in my opinion, but good on them. Anyway, there is a groomed ski area over there that you need to buy. You're supposed to buy a pin that you wear that shows that you have purchased the right or contributed to the maintenance of it. I don't know that anybody's ever enforced it, but it's just a good citizen type thing to do. Anyway, they have groomed ski areas for both classic and skate skiing right here in town. There's a couple other areas around, including Crosscut up near Bridger Bowl, And there used to be one on the old dump north of town. I suspect there's probably one or two to the east and west. It is early March, and next month, April, late this month, we'll start to get into more, as you can see a trail down there, muddy trail season, which is a little brutal because most of the snow is not particularly skiable unless you get back in the backcountry and hello puppy dog, and the trails get really muddy, and you can walk on them, but it's a bit of a hassle, especially when you start running into icy sections. And it's just tough to get out and recreate. Even up here on Peets Hill, it'll turn pretty muddy. And anyway, that's one of the challenges of living in mountain. The rest of the year is glorious for the most part, unless we have forest fires. But the mud season, April into May, sometimes into June, it's a tough one. Which is one of the reasons my oldest and I are going to go to France on a bike ride. And we're going to try and ride from the coast, Saint-Nazaire on the west coast, to Basel, Switzerland, over the course of 30 or 35 days. Along the way, don't worry, along the way I'm going to try and film a bunch of city walks for you guys, because I want to share it. And why not, right? When in France. Okay, we're right at 47 minutes here, so I think I'm going to call it. You've already gone back this way. We've seen this view. It is beautiful. Bozeman's a wonderful place. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you will take some time to leave me any comments, corrections, insights, memories, etc. that you might have about Bozeman or Peets Hill specifically. And mainly, I hope you come back. See us again. I'm not sure where I'll be filming, but it'll be a great walk. So until then, keep on stepping.